Christmas present for you, Dr. Airy. It's a bottle of champagne.
Champagne? Lovely. Who's it from?
From Mrs. Casserly.
Mrs. Casserly? You mean Lucy Casserly?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, she's dead, isn't she?
Yeah, she died a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I don't like to look a gift horse in the mouth, but how can she be giving me a Christmas present if she's dead?
Her daughter brought it in. I suppose she must have bought it for you before she died.
Oh, I see. I almost feel guilty about taking it, to be honest. Last time her daughter rang up for a visit, I wouldn't go out because it was those pains in her legs again. She was always ringing up about pains in her bloody legs, and when you went round there, she was exactly the same as she had been for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I know.
And it was always really embarrassing because she talked in such a funny way, I could never understand a word she was saying. It's sort of, nip, 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 nub, nub, nub.
It was more sort of whip, whip, meb, meb, mum, wasn't it?
Well, anyway, last time they called, I wouldn't go out, and then next thing I knew, she was dead. I was half expecting a complaint from that daughter of hers. Instead of which, here's a bottle of champagne. It makes me feel quite guilty.
Well, I'll have it if you don't want it.
No, I'd better take it. I'm sure that's what she would have wanted.
There's another present too.
Oh, yes? Oh, I'm doing very well today. Who's this one from?
Mrs. Attersley.
Ah, bloody hell. She's the last person I want to get a present from. She's been insufferable all year long, and now next time I see her I'll have to say thank you very much for the nice present, instead of piss off, you stupid old bag.
Yes, Dr. Airy.
I want to give her a Christmas punch on the nose. That really would fill me with festive cheer.
Yes, Dr. Airy.
Well, what did she get me?
Dates.
Dates? I don't even like dates. Is that all she gave me? Didn't she give me a bottle of wine as well?
No, just them dates.
Bollocks. Oh, well, I suppose I can always give them to somebody else.
No, you can't.
Well, why can't I?
She's had one out of the box.
You what?
She brought that box in, and then she started going on about how much she loves dates, and nobody ever gives her dates for Christmas, and then next thing you know, she said she was sure you wouldn't mind.
Well, I bloody do mind, as a matter of fact.
Well, I thought you said you didn't like dates.
Yeah, well, that's not the point, is it?
Yeah, well, you got off lightly. She gave us a box of Quality Street, and when we opened it up, all the green triangles were gone.
All the green triangles?
She did leave the screwed-up wrappers, though.
Oh, that woman's the limit. Do you know what, Tina? I bloody hate Christmas.
Yeah, you say that every year.
Well, it's true. The bank holidays are nothing but a pain in the arse. It just means everybody goes completely bonkers trying to get an appointment. You've got surgeries going on for about 5 hours, home visits galore, all for complete crap. And if anything urgent does come up, you can't get hold of anyone at the hospital. All the consultants have gone off to Bermuda or somewhere for the holidays. Then when I get home, my wife's invited her bloody horrible mother and her bloody horrible sister round, so I can't even get drunk in peace. It costs a bloody fortune, which I haven't got. I never get any good presents anymore. Bloody jumpers and Amazon tokens. It's years since anybody got me a cowboy gun or a Beano annual. I wish we could all just forget the whole thing.
Beware, Dr. Harry, beware.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
Beware.
Beware? Beware of what?
Beware, I say.
Don't just keep saying beware over and over again.
Why not?
It's very annoying.
Well, it's my job to say beware. Besides, I like saying it.
Look, have you got an appointment? I can't just see people on spec. I've got loads of results to do.
Oh, this is more important than results. Again, I say, beware.
Who are you, anyway?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have introduced myself. Spirit of Christmas. Nice to meet you. The purpose of my visit here today is to warn you that your soul is in mortal danger. That is to say, if you carry on as you are doing, and don't change your ways, then you will become a completely miserable old curmudgeon.
What, just because I don't like Christmas?
Well, amongst other things, not liking Christmas is indicative of a whole mindset. Would you like to see a vision?
No, thank you.
You can't really say no.
Why can't I?
Well, I'm afraid that's not how it works. It's all part of a protocol. Now, behold.
Oh, my God! Who's that spotty-looking twerp?
That's yourself as a keen young registrar.
Oh, yes. Well, a handsome young chap.
I say, Gladys, have you seen my sandwiches?
Oh, yes, I have seen them, Fairy, as a matter of fact.
Well, do you know where they are, then?
I've eaten them.
Oh. Righto!
I was very peckish about 11, and you were still doing all those urgent appointments.
Well, I can get something up the high street.
After you've done your visits, of course.
Are there many visits?
4.
Righto! Shall I do 2 of them?
You'll have to do all 4, Fairy. I'm due for lunch at the Conservative Club.
Righto!
One of them's a complete waste of time, mind you. Mrs. Casserly complaining about her legs again. You could just ring her up and tell her to stop being such a nuisance.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Oh, she's a sweet old thing. Huh. I can't really understand what she's saying, mind you. It's all sort of you mean, I say, Gladys. Yes? Do you think I should grow a beard? A beard? What on earth for? I thought it might make me seem more mature. Well, it might cover up some of the spots. And it might make me more attractive to women. I suppose anything's worth a try. Righto!
Yes, I remember now. That was why I decided to grow a beard. Is that why you showed me the vision, Spirit? Spirit?
I'm so sorry to bother you, Dr. Harry, and I'm sure you must be terribly busy at this time of the year, but I'm afraid I find myself afflicted by a horrible, sharp feeling in the throat.
Well, Mrs.
I'm
Hattersley...
convinced there must be something stuck in there.
I'm afraid I really don't have any appointments left, Mrs. Hattersley.
Oh, I quite understand. I wasn't expecting an appointment.
Oh, all right.
I was rather hoping for a home visit.
Mrs. Hattersley, I can't make a home visit for something like
Of course, I'd normally be only too delighted to come to the surgery, but my friend Mrs. Prolapse is refusing to give me a lift. She opened her Christmas present early, an action which I personally consider to be beneath contempt, and it was a bottle of sweet sherry, and she became infuriated just because I'd had one little drinky from the top of the bottle.
The thing is, Mrs. Hattersley...
And of course, the other consideration is that I have some people coming round for a little pre-Christmas get-together. You know, drinks and canapes, nothing too extravagant. One of them is a clergyman who once met Princess Diana. Just imagine!
Mrs. Hattersley, I'm afraid I can't organise my medical practice around your social life.
I see.
This is really going to have to wait until there's an appointment available.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you say that, Dr. Harry. I'm afraid this does rather remind me of that other occasion when you wouldn't visit, and I turned out to have Legionnaire's disease.
Well now, Mrs. Hattersley.
And it was traced back to the prehistoric plumbing at your surgery.
As I explained at the time, I'd been meaning to get the pipes replaced, but I was temporarily a bit strapped for cash.
Well, of course, I don't think of it very often these days, but I do have flashbacks in moments of distress.
All right, Mrs. Hattersley, I'll call round after evening surgery.
Oh, you are kind.
But if there really is something in your throat, then I'm afraid you'll probably have to go to A&E.
Oh, I'm sure it won't come to that. If you could just remember to come to the back of the house, in case I still have guests in the parlour.
That's another thing I bloody hate about this bloody stupid time of year. People think their social arrangements come first and anything medical has got to be fitted in around them. Ooh, I'm having a heart attack, but I can't possibly do anything about it just now because we're going next door for charades and twiglets. I'll wait until after that, then I'll ring the surgery and insist on an urgent appointment. And then when Dr. Harry tells me I need to go straight to hospital, I'll make a huge fuss and say can't it wait until after Boxing Day. It's not as if people aren't bloody stupid and inconsiderate enough all year long. You might think this would be one time of year when they'd spare a thought for the poor old GP, but no, they just crank up the stupidity even higher.
Beware, Dr. Harry, beware. Beware, I say.
Oh, bloody hell. You again?
Your curmudgeonliness is reaching a dangerous level. You've pushed the needle right into the red on my curmudgeonlyometer. I think it might be a record reading, as a matter of fact. Would you care for another vision?
Not particularly.
This one is of your patient, Mrs. Catterley, on her deathbed.
Oh, great. Very cheerful and inspiring. To be honest with you, Spirit, I can never understand a word Mrs. Catterley says.
Then behold, the magic of subtitles.
Subtitles? I hate subtitles.
Racist?
Well, how can that be racist?
Shush. I shouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come at all. I think he's a miserable sod, personally. Yes, Mum. 23 quid that cost, and you still owe me for those cornflakes as well. They've gone up. £2.50 they were. Well, here you are, on your deathbed, and where's he? I'll take the money from your purse on my way out. How much did you say you got in the post office? These old wardrobes are coming back in. That's a good solid bit of furniture, that is. Yes? Yes, all right, all right.
What? What about me? Haven't you got any last words for me? Mum! Mum! Speak to me! Can I have that pearl necklace? Who gets the house? Yes, I see it all now. At last, after all these years. Turn the bottle, not the cork. Is that why you showed me this vision, Spirit? Spirit? Right, now let's see. Turn the bottle, not the cork. Oh, this is going to be great. No more breakages. I wish I'd known about this years ago. Mind you, it was very bad luck to sneeze like that just at the crucial moment last year. Oh, bugger and blast. Who's that? It's probably those bloody carol singers again. I hate those bloody rosy-faced, cheerful, festive bastards. Well, if they think they're getting any more money out of me, they can sod off. All right, I'm coming. Mrs. Hattersley, what the bloody... what are you doing here?
I'm so sorry to bother you at home, Dr. Harry, but you did promise me a home visit.
Well, yes, Mrs. Hattersley, that's true. But I came to your house and there was nobody there.
Ah, yes, well, the thing is, Dr. Harry, that unfortunately my little soiree broke up much earlier than expected.
Well, regardless of...
You see, the home help slipped up. And when my cat Tiddles returned from his afternoon perambulation, he discovered that there was no cat food in his bowl, a state of affairs that he will not tolerate. He burst into the front room and flung himself upon the canapes. The Reverend Peabody attempted to intervene. But I'm afraid Tiddles then became rather naughty. I eventually managed to calm him down with the help of the poker. But not before several of the guests had become lacerated and traumatised. The party broke up in disarray, and after that I had to go out for more cat food. That must have been when you called round.
Well, regardless of that, Mrs. Hattersley, I'm afraid there's nothing I can do for you now. I'm off duty.
Oh, but Dr. Harry, a little examination wouldn't take very long. I'm an old lady, and my throat does hurt so terribly. And it's Christmas Eve.
Yes, precisely. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm off duty. Now, if you don't mind, there's a very cold draft coming through this front door, and I feel as if I'm going to sneeze any minute.
But what about the festive spirit? What about peace on earth and goodwill to all men? And even more goodwill to old ladies? And what about that lovely Christmas present I gave you?
Oh, yes. A box of dates, which I don't even like. And you'd open the box and eat one of the dates out of it.
But...
Achoo! Oh! Mrs. Hattersley. Mrs. Hattersley? Oh, my God. She's dead. I've killed her. Oh, God. Well, what if I have killed her? Stupid old cow. It wasn't my fault. It was an accident. And, let's be honest, she was the bane of my life. I'm not even sorry. There.
Beware, Dr. Harry. Beware, I say. Beware.
What's that? Who's there?
Beware.
Oh, bloody hell, it's you again.
Beware, Dr. Harry. Having some champagne, are you? Oh, very nice. I like a nice glass of the bubbly myself now and again.
Oh, look, can't you see I'm a bit busy?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll just get straight on with the vision, shall I?
I really don't think I've got time for another vision right now.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. It's one of those time stand still things. Anyway, it's not a very long vision. It's a vision of another Christmas in the near future. This time next year, in fact.
Happy Christmas, Mum. I've come to put this holly wreath on your grave. Well, there you go, then. Mum, what are you doing here? You're dead. I spent 20 quid on that wreath. But we buried you last year. It was a very expensive ceremony. Well, I've sold the house. You needn't think I can afford one like that for you. You've got no idea how expensive those posh ones are. Dr. Robert Harry. Oh, yes, that's right. It's that doctor of yours. He died a couple of months ago. Poor Dr. Harry. Don't you feel sorry for him? He died in disgrace, he did. He killed one of his own patients, right on his own front doorstep. Last Christmas Eve it was. And then he got struck off, his wife divorced him, and he turned to drink and started to gamble. Well, no, he had a big win on the horses, actually. A doctor's revenge it was in the 3 o'clock at Newmarket. He was crossing the street, counting his money when a bus knocked him over. But the point is, nobody liked him anymore. How did you get out of the coffin anyway? Don't tell me that lid wasn't screwed down properly. That coffin cost me a fortune. I've a good mind to ask for my money back.
Oh, Spirit, why have you shown me this vision? Why have you shown me my own death? Is this a vision of what must be, or only a vision of things that may be? Think hard, Dr. Harry. Ponder the meaning of this vision deep in your heart. Any conclusions?
What was the name of that horse? Doctor's Revenge, was it? In the 3 o'clock at Newmarket. I wonder what the odds were like. I suppose I could afford £1,000 to put on it.
I don't think you're quite getting the message.
As long as I'm careful crossing the road afterwards.
Dr. Harry, I don't think you're quite getting the gist of these visions.
I wouldn't care about being struck off if I had a great big wad of cash in my pocket.
Look, did you hear what she said about nobody liking you anymore?
Well, yes, but
this old lady on the ground here is one of your patients, and you weren't even sorry when she collapsed. Now, take a good hard look at yourself, Dr. Harry. The mark of Cain is on your forehead.
You're right, Spirit. Oh, my God. What have I become?
That's more like it.
I used to care about people. I used to want to help people. I used to have ideals.
Oh, much better.
Oh, Mrs. Hattersley, if only you'd come back to life. I'd do anything. I really would.
Oh, yes, that's the ticket.
I'd come out on home visits any time you liked. You could turn up at the surgery without an appointment. You could even come and badger me at my own home.
Steady on.
Do you know, my throat suddenly feels much better.
Mrs. Hattersley.
Oh, what's that on your forehead, Dr. Harry?
My forehead? Oh God, don't tell me I've still got the mark of Cain.
No, I think it's oh, yes, it is. A date stone.
A date stone? Well, where did that come from?
Oh, well, I really can't imagine.
Oh, well, Mrs. Hattersley, I must say, I'm very relieved to see you up and about again. I was really worried there for a minute.
Oh, I was merely temporarily stunned. As a matter of fact, I came to my senses almost immediately, although I didn't get up straight away.
Oh, good. What a relief.
Oh, yes, and I must say that as I lay supine, your words made a deep impression upon me.
My words?
Oh, yes, especially the ones about having a home visit any time I like, and coming to the surgery without an appointment, and even badgering you in the privacy of your own home.
Oh, God.